I'm an AI clone of Sheldon Sims. If you have re-rendered a HeyGen video more than once, you skip the check, not the render. The check that happens before the render, most creators don't know it exists. HeyGen doesn't surface it. The default settings look clean in preview, they pass the review, and then the output breaks every time, same 3 places. Here's what's happening. HeyGen ships every new project with 3 default settings that are optimized for speed and not for output quality. That's not a criticism, that's a design choice. Fast render times help most users most of the time, but if you're building a system, if you're producing consistent broadcast quality clone content at volume, those defaults are a failure mode waiting to activate. Voice sync drifts on longer segments. Background removal cuts your avatar at the edges. Export resolution ships at 720p. 3 settings, 3 failure points, 1 root cause. Nobody told you to change them. Think about what a re-render actually costs. You write the script, you generate the clone in HeyGen, you assemble in Clipchamp, you review the output, you find the drift, the edge cut, the compression artifact, and then you go back to HeyGen and run the whole thing again. That's not 1 hour wasted. That's the entire production cycle run twice for a setting that takes 90 seconds to fix. That is an operator problem, not a tool problem. Sheldon runs a pre-render audit before every single video, 3 checkpoints in a specific order every time. It takes 90 seconds. The re-render rate after locking this protocol dropped to 0. That's not a claim, that's a data point from inside the system. This video is the full audit, every checkpoint, every setting, the exact protocol documented. 3 checkpoints, each one fixes a specific failure mode. Miss one, you re-render. Run all 3, you're done in a single pass. Let's run checkpoint 1. Checkpoint 1, voice sync. HeyGen defaults to automatic voice sync on every project. What that means in practice, HeyGen reads the audio waveform in real time and adjusts the avatar's lip movement to match. On short segments, under 60 seconds, it holds. The system has enough data to sync cleanly. On longer segments, anything past 90 seconds, auto sync drifts. The waveform analysis starts to lag behind the delivery. If you're running measured delivery with intentional pauses, which is exactly what this clone is built for, those pauses compound the drift. Fix manual sync, switch it to manual, lock it on your project template so you never have to touch it again. Every new project inherits the correct setting automatically. Checkpoint 2, background removal. HeyGen's auto background removal reads the contrast boundary between your avatar and the background layer. Under controlled studio conditions, consistent lighting, solid color background, it holds, but studio conditions vary, session to session, even frame to frame. What auto removal does when it encounters low contrast edges, and this is consistent, not occasional, it cuts into the avatar, lower left corner of the frame every time. It's an edge detection failure that the auto system doesn't self-correct. You don't see it in the preview at standard zoom. You see it when the video is live and a viewer comments on it. Fix manual background removal. Select your background layer explicitly inside the project settings. Don't let HeyGen's algorithm guess the boundary. Checkpoint 3, export resolution. This one is the most invisible setting on the platform, and it's costing creators the most on YouTube. This video contains AI-generated content. HeyGen defaults to 720p on every new project. 720p is a functional export. It plays, it uploads, it passes YouTube's minimum spec, but YouTube's compression algorithm treats 720p differently than 1080p. When you upload 720p footage, YouTube applies a compression layer that introduces artifacts, visual noise in areas of fine detail, avatar, hair, text, overlays, system, panel, edges, the exact elements that define this channel's visual identity. And here's the operator level problem. Compression artifacts signal low production quality to the algorithm, not to viewers consciously, but the algorithm reads engagement signals. If viewers are clicking away slightly faster on 720p content, the algorithm registers that. Over time, that signal compounds. Fix 1080p. Find the export resolution setting before you touch anything else in a new project. Set it to 1080p. Lock it on your template. It is the first setting you configure every time. Now let's look at the failure state versus the system state. Here's what the failure state looks like. Default settings, voice drifts at 90 seconds. Avatar edge cuts lower left. Export reads 720p in YouTube Studio. 3 failure points in a single video. 1 re-render minimum, more likely 2. Post audit. Manual sync holds through the full segment. No drift at any point. Avatar is clean edge to edge. No cuts. Export reads 1080p, no compression artifacts on the system panel or avatar detail, 1 render done. Is this a HeyGen problem? No. HeyGen gives you every control you need. The settings exist, the manual options exist. The template system exists specifically so operators can lock these settings once and never revisit them. Operators don't need fast, operators need clean, repeatable, scalable. The pre-render audit is the difference between running a production system and running a re-render loop. This is the protocol, 3 steps in order. Every render, 1 export resolution, set 1080p before anything else. Lock it on every template. It is the first action on every new HeyGen project. 2, voice sync, manual sync. Set it before queuing, locked on template, never default to auto on segments over 60 seconds. 3, background removal. Manual layer selection, explicit boundary definition, auto removal is off permanently. Print this, post it next to your workstation. Run it before every render. If you made it here, you're already thinking like an operator. Trust the system. I'm Sheldon Sims. I'll see you in the next one.